Hello there, my name is Jonathan and this is Jonathan's Days. This is a knitting podcast where I share all about what I've been knitting on as of late. This is episode 22, I believe it is. And I just want to start by saying welcome to all the new subscribers. It's so lovely to have you here. We had a lovely boost in the last episode, which is so great. And of course, a warm welcome back to those of you who've been here for a long time listening to me prattle on about yarn and knitting and weaving and a little bit of sewing and all that good stuff. I am back today with my knitting needle microphone because I have my first finished object to share with you that I will clip my microphone to. It also means I need to disrobe a little bit, so excuse my inappropriateness, but you know, it is what it is. So my first finished object is something very summery and it's something I'm wearing right now, and this is the Totally Tank Top by Jessie Maed Designs. I knit this up in Knitting for Olive pure silk in the color Putty. I bought this yarn at Beautiful Knitters here in London where I live. Someone asked in the recent comments was where did I live and where was I from, since there were so many new people. So I live in London, but I'm from Ireland. I moved to London about 10 years ago, but I grew up in Ireland, in Cork, right down the south of Ireland. But yeah, so I bought this yarn in Beautiful Knitters here in London, which is probably my nearest local yarn store, and made the Totally Tank Top because it was really warm weather in London at the time. It's gotten bad since then, and I wanted to make something nice and summery, and this pattern had just come out and I really liked it. I'll stand up for you. So I'm gonna do a weird dip here so you can kind of see, but the coolest detail to me is the back, which is like it's like a racerback style. And then the other interesting detail, which is optional, is the neckline. So it's you can do like just you can do just like ribbing, which you do around the armholes and around the hem of the garment, or but then for the neckline you can either do just that normal ribbing, or you can do this, which is like a rolled kind of neckline. So basically you pick up stitches for the neckline as you would with any neckline that you pick up, and instead of just doing your 2x2 rib or whatever it is, you knit all the rows for a while and then bind off, so then it curls and creates this kind of interesting detail. I would definitely make this again, and if I was to make again, I probably wouldn't include this detail. It's not that I don't like it, it's just probably would just like a really simple plain kind of tank top looking garment, but I really do like it. I think it's like a cool fun detail. I'm going to where are we going? We're going to Barcelona and Lisbon in a couple of weeks, and so I'm really looking forward to wearing this because it's going to be like a nice cool knit in warm weather, and so I am very, very excited about wearing this. This is also my first time knitting with pure silk, which is by Knitting for Olive. It's my first time knitting with like any kind of 100% silk yarn, and so it was a very interesting kind of like texture and fiber to use. The positives, I suppose, are that it is like cooler. It's meant to be cooler for kind of summer knits and things like that. So I'm interested to see how it wears in that regard. And it's also meant to be quite a strong fiber, I believe. I will say, I mean, this is you can disagree with me. This is just kind of how I felt about it, is that it did have more bounce than like a pure cotton would that I've used. So the silk does have a bit more bounce to it, so it's not as hard on your fingers as a 100% cotton yarn would be, in my opinion. And so it also, the kind of downside of it is that it does reveal any kind of, I wouldn't say tension issues, but if you don't have like even tension, then it will kind of show that. Or if you kind of like, you know, like randomly like wrap one stitch tighter because you're watching a scary movie while knitting, or, you know, you're a little bit looser for one stitch, like it will show in the fabric. And I don't think that with wool that like blocking will solve all your problems. But it is yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to like come back to you maybe at the end of year when I do my end of year roundup to tell you how the like actual fiber ended up wearing. But this is like actually the first time I've really wore it. I was kind of waiting to like share it on the podcast to wear it, and I'm going to wear it out today because it's nice and warm here in London again. And it will be interesting too because this is obviously a garment I'm wearing like on my skin. So unlike kind of my sweaters and things and jumpers and those kinds of garments that I don't like, I rarely, if ever, will wear any of my knits like against my skin. This one I will be, so I'll have to wash it way more often than I would knits. And then I don't know, like, you know, like real like wool, sheep's wool has like antimicrobial qualities. It's kind of, people say it's self-cleaning. I don't know how true that is, but you know, it is like a clean fiber. It's meant to kind of go a while without needing a wash necessarily. So I'll be interested to see how this holds up because I will have to wash more often. I was looking up as well, like different ways to wash silk or block silk or how you should treat it. Some people said to just like spritz it with water or steam block it maybe. In the end, I just kind of did what I always do with my hand knits, which was just like soak it in water. I did like maybe room temp. I didn't do like lukewarm with some wool wash. It seems to be fine. We'll see how it holds up. But yeah, but I'm really happy with it. It is fairly fitted as a kind of piece goes. I could potentially size up. I think I did the 3rd or 4th size of the garment. So I probably could size up one more if I did it again. But then I like, you know, it fits me just fine. I didn't mind it either being kind of like a closely fitted tank top or like a looser one. I didn't mind. So when I chose the size I did, I think I sized a little bit up for that. But yeah, the fit's good. Again, like I love the racer back on the back of it. I think it's really, really cool. It looks like, you know, in a good way, it looks like something you could buy, but then it's like, oh no, I actually made this. Like it's really, really good. I'm so fascinated by like the construction of it, which I'm not going to give away anything about how it's constructed, but it is, and I'll talk about my whip later. They're both garments that are kind of modern silhouettes, I guess, or modern styles of garments, which are made through very clever construction techniques when it comes to knitting. So it is a lot of like short rows, picking up, working back and forth, working flat, then moving to working in the round and working flat again. So it's like, to me, it's almost like a construction project rather than like a colorwork project or a raglan, you know, like it really thinks about the construction and manipulation of yarn to create fabric shapes, which I find so interesting. It's I haven't done a lot of patterns like this that are really, really like not just like a standard like top down, bottom up sweater. So I have quite enjoyed both of these projects in that regard. The other thing is that they are, I think, potato chippy. Like you kind of want to keep on going because they have like you do like a small section, which is just like a little short row section or just the straps, or you just do this. So it is quite addictive to do these kind of construction projects because until you hit like a section, like working in the round for the entire body, it's, you know, really, really like interesting and potato chippy like that. So I did enjoy that aspect of it. But yeah, so that's the Totally Tank Top by Jessie Maed Designs. I really, really enjoy it. I'm excited to see how it wears in very hot weather because I'm headed for some very hot weather very soon. And I've really enjoyed wearing it. Now I'm going to put some clothes on because I do feel this. I like the color. It is pretty close to my skin tone. So I do feel a little bit naked on the internet right now. So I'm going to put my shirt back on and then get rid of my knitting needle microphone. So I'll be right back on that. Cool, so I'm back with some clothes on and I'm going to talk about next some other finished objects. These are 2 finished objects which I got really addicted to and couldn't help but cast on the second one as soon as I finished the first. And then I also I'm just about to cast on a third, and it is very exciting and it's something that a lot of people got excited about in the last episode, so I'm excited to share them with you. I haven't snipped the ends off them yet, but I did finish my hat pattern, which is the BOSCA hat, which I wanted to share with you guys. We are off the back of the last episode. If we get as many subscribers as we did off the back of the last episode, we will be at the goal to release this pattern for free, so to subscribers. So if you are interested in getting this pattern for free, then please do subscribe. If you already are subscribed, the way to get this pattern is to increase its engagement, which is by clicking the like button and adding a comment on the video as well. So many lovely people who did subscribe last time commented because they were like, oh, I've just YouTube has recommended your video, and YouTube does that by because people have commented and liked the video. So that's how it all works together. But anyway, so here it is, finally. This is the BOSCA hat, this is the first sample, which I gave you this sneak peek of in the last episode. Apologies for all the bits hanging, or the threads hanging down. But yeah, just to give you a look. So it is a folded brim with collar work, and then a ribbed hat, or what do you call it? The crown of the hat is ribbed. So it's really, really warm. So this first sample was knit out of Raw Wool Company, and it is in their, did I get the DK? I did get the DK. Yes, this is the DK. I'm literally trying to see if I held them double. Either way, no, this is the fingering, and I held it double for a DK weight, for sure. And the color is Shepherd Silver is the dark brown, and then Silver Mizzle, you can see the dark brown under there. And then Silver Mizzle is the lighter color. I will try this one on. It is way too small for me, but I will pull it on for you. Ooh, way too small. You can see because the color work really gets stretched, and you'll see my skin going red because it's being squeezed too tightly by it. But this is the first sample. I learned so much from this first sample, which is why I wanted to cast on a second sample. What I did realize is that, Anton, correct me if I'm wrong, the fingering weight in the Raw Wool Company is pretty heavy, I would say. So when I held it double, it got to quite a heavy weight, so it's not really the weight I would have wanted it to be for this pattern. So that definitely contributed to being smaller than I wanted it to be. And then I just think the stitch count that I used was too small for my head personally. This stitch count probably will end up being the smaller size anyway. I'm probably going to do 3 or 4 sizes, my hope is. It's pretty easy to increase sizes in hats, I think, especially if you've got a standard pattern, like a pattern repeat like this. So yes, too small for me. And then also, both this sample and the second sample, which I'll show you, have differences between them. There's tweaks in the construction and how I've done it. And then I'm actually going to tweak it a third time for the third sample, which I think will be the final one. They're small things, but I knocked both of these samples out in a week, a couple of days. They were pretty fast. I did them on 3.75 millimeter needles. And yeah, so this is the Raw Wool Company version, which I'm not sure if I'm going to use it as the recommended pattern, recommended yarn for the pattern. I might need to knit a larger size in this yarn and see if it fits me. But I will say that this is warm. My hand is sweating in here right now. This wool is warm, warm, warm. This hat will keep you warm in winter. So that's the first sample that I did. Then the second sample is this one, which fits me much better. I will pull it on for you right away. So, we'll get up and close. This is the second sample. This one is knit out of John Arbon Knit by Numbers DK in the color Turquoise, and then the contrast color in this one is Spincycle Dream State in the color Stay Ready. So you can see the color change, the color shifting pattern of the Spincycle here in the brim, and then goes into the ribbing on the top. So I really love how this looks. I love the Spincycle color change is amazing, and it's like super graphic and bright, which is what I wanted. And this was a the stitch count for this was better from the size of my head. And then when I do the next sample, I'll probably just do one size up to check how that size fits against my head. Obviously I have a static head circumference. I got a big head sometimes, but yes, so this one is kind of the way I'm going to go with it. So I went kind of stash diving, to be honest, to do another sample, and I came up with these two colors. So this is Spincycle Dream State in the color Castaway. This is West Yorkshire Spinners The Croft. No idea what this color is, but these were both leftovers from my oh my god, what is it called? Moon Whistle shawl by Andrea Mowry. If I have a picture handy, I can stick it up on the screen. But these were both leftovers from that, and I had tons, which is like definitely enough to make a hat. So the plan is to knit up a third sample pretty quick for this, which will be in the larger size. It will make, there's like just two tweaks I want to make. There's a tweak in how you pick up the folded over brim, and there's one other tweak as well. Oh, there's just the tweak in the size. So they're the last two tweaks I want to make, and then I will be super happy with it. I know when you design like garments and larger items, you can't just like keep making samples of things and making tweaks as you go, because it takes a very long time to make something larger. But for a hat, it's so easy to be like, okay, I'm like Goldilocks. I want to get it just right, and I'm so close to getting it just right. So I'm really happy with these colors. It's a very me color palette, and I think it'll be a fun like color shifting change again with the Spincycle. And so this is what the next sample will be. So that is the BOSCA hat. So these are the two, where's my other one gone walking? Here it is. These are the two samples so far. So if you like this hat and you are a subscriber, then you're gonna like and comment this video. And if you like this hat and you're not a subscriber, then you're gonna hit subscribe, because once we hit 10,000 subscribers, I will release a discount code to get this pattern for free. And so that is very exciting. And I think we can do it within like this video or the next video. So my hope is like by the latest of September to have this done. What that does mean for me personally is that I need to actually like write up the pattern, make a PDF, set up an email that people can email, like all those kinds of things, which is all very exciting stuff to do, but it's a lot of admin. But I'm excited to do it for you guys, and I'm excited that there's been so much interest and that people thought it was a nice idea to gift a pattern instead of just doing a giveaway. So do let me know what you think. Let me know if you like the look of them. And yeah, maybe it'll become a thing every 10,000. I was thinking of doing a preview knit or something like that, or because by the time I do a third sample, if I do kind of 3 sizes, I've knit every size potentially. So I've knit the pattern 3 times. So it wouldn't necessarily need to be test knit, but I wouldn't mind doing giving the pattern to a couple of people to make sure that the PDF reads correctly. Like, I'm not concerned about fit, but I am concerned that it reads nicely and that people can follow the pattern. So if you would be interested in that, I probably would do it over Instagram because I'm only really posting here once a month, and by the time we get to the next video, it'll be probably too late timing wise and all that. So if you are interested in preview knitting, potentially preview knitting, I would follow me on Instagram. And if I'm going to put a call out there, I'll probably put it there most likely. It's probably the best place if you would like to do that. But that's the BOSCA hat. I'm really happy with it, really excited for it. And once I finish my next whip, I will be casting on another hat to do the final one, most likely when I'm on my trip coming up soon. So yeah, so those are my finished objects. My whips are a go-go. So I've got one whip, I've got some swatches to show you for a future plan, and then I have another future plan to show you because I mentioned the last one, I'm only going to share new yarn I get if I can actually say this is the pattern I'm going to put with it, and I'm actually going to cast it on in the near future. I think it's just more, I don't know, it's more interesting than just sharing about a bunch of yarn you got. Yeah, because sometimes I felt like I was just buying yarn to share it, so I have something to talk about. But I can talk to the wall clearly, so I don't think I needed that. Anyway, moving swiftly along to my whips. Here is another construction style project, and it is also another summer project as well. And I spoke about this in the previous episode because I gotten the yarn from it. It is also knitting for Olive. It is also purchased at Beautiful Knitters here in London, and it is the AIRTEE by Ozetta. And this is how far I've gotten in it. So I could actually pull it on for you, but it'll just be like a little crop top at this point. But it is knit out of Knitting for Olive in the color Nutmeg. It is the cotton merino, so I'm not sure what the percentage-wise is in the actual fiber, but it is a cotton and merino blend. It is the second time I've used this yarn. Actually, I made my rib lace raglan in it before, and this one I have made the large size. It is blowing out my camera. You can tell because I go super pale rather than just normal pale. So this one is knit on 3.5mm needles, and it is obviously fingering weight. And we booked this trip to Barcelona and Lisbon, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, we're going to be in a very warm climate. Like I want to be able to like wear lots of nice things, so I wanted to, that's why I really pushed myself to finish the tank top, and then I wanted to make another knitted t-shirt. I'm very aware that it's probably going to be still too warm to wear in the day, but I thought for dinner in the evening it would be quite nice. And I wanted another nice knitted t-shirt, and I was obviously influenced by Mel from the Cozy Cardigans because she was working on hers or test knitting. I believe she definitely has it finished in her most recent episode of her podcast. But who else made one? Someone else also made one, and I was like, oh, I also love theirs. It's gonna bother me. Anyway, someone else amazing made an AIRTEE as well, and I thought it was really, really beautiful. So yeah, so this is mine. It is, I won't want to give away the secrets, but it is a really, really cool construction, and it has this panel across the back. So it's knit sideways off the back, and then everything else that's kind of knit down off the back of it. It is super engaging, as I mentioned previously, as similar to the Totally Tank, is that it's a construction, and it's so clever how Ozetta does different things to manipulate the actual fabric to construct the shape that will fall nicely on your body. And I find it so impressive and interesting how they do it. I've learned a new technique for doing I-cord, which is a Very Pink Knits. In the pattern it links to Very Pink Knits video, the legend Very Pink Knits, on how to do I-cord, which I find so much better than the knit two together through the back loop. This is one with a bind off. You bind off the stitch, pass it over. And I find I mentioned in a previous episode how my I-cords are a bit tight, and this has definitely loosened it up. And it also makes a nice finish. So the neckline and the sleeve cuffs are all in that I-cord, and I do believe the hem will be as well. So I'm doing really, really well on it because I only have the body to go. So I'm really so when I do sweaters, I like to do like the yoke. If it's top down, I like to do the yoke. Then I like to do the neckline if there's a separate neckline, and then the sleeves. I do that because the neckline will pull it in, and the sleeves will also change how the fabric lies. So I find that getting those done before you finish the body helps like get a better fit, because all of that can pull fabric upwards or pull it downwards actually. And so you want to get a more accurate body width or body length. I like to do that. Plus, for me, it means you don't get stuck on sleeve island, as people call it. Like, the sleeves are done, so then you're just on body island, which is a much larger island, but it's okay. It doesn't bother me as much. So, yeah, so literally, I enjoyed it because there were so much little things to do, but it was also annoying because there were so many little things to do. Like, before I did the sleeves, I was all excited to just like, yeah, I've just got sleeves now, you know, like let's just pick up the stitches and knit some sleeves. And then I pick up the stitches and it's like short rows. I'm like, great, some short rows. And you know, the short rows make for a great fit, I'm sure. Yes, brilliant. I get why they're here. I understand. Is it annoying in that moment to think that you're just going to be doing a bunch of stockinette and then you have to do short rows? Yes, but either way, it's fine. I've made the 4th size, which I think they do call it the large. Which, you know, I could have definitely the 3rd size, the medium size, definitely would have fit me comfortably, but I did want this to be like an oversized t-shirt, and the sleeve definitely drops off my shoulder, which I'm not sure is, I mean, it must be pretty drop shoulder construction, but with where I'm at, it's like, it is, you know, practically hitting the ground. It's dropped so far on me, but I do like it. I like how it fits. It's like flowy and nice and fun. I think it's, you know, wear with shorts or tight pants, or, you know, like I can think of all these nice things to wear with it. And I'm very excited actually to block this because it is a bit, I don't know, inconsistent in places. And my hope is that because it's not all cotton, that the wool will fluff and smooth. I'm sure it will. But it is a pleasure. It's a lovely yarn to knit with. But it is 3.5mm needles and it's fingering weight, so it is taking some time. But I am very excited about it, and it's all I've been working on apart from the hats. This is all I've been working on since the last episode. Really, really focused. And so I'm going to speed through it, and then I'll have 2 wonderful knitted garments to wear in the hot summer weather. So it's my first Ozetta pattern, written wonderfully, written so well. I really enjoyed following it. There's that thing of like, at the end she writes, of a section she'll write, it will be this many rows in total. So from the beginning of the section to the end of the section, this is how many rows total you should have. And I really appreciate that, because sometimes it'll be like, do this 4 more times. And then it's like, okay, 4 more times, including this first time, or not including that, for a total of 6. Is it 4? Is it 6? But she puts total at the end, which I really love. So yeah, that's the AIRTEE by Ozetta. Can't wait to finish it. You'll see it finished in the next episode, I'm sure. Love it. Can't recommend it enough. Oh, we are blazing through it. Okay, so let's talk about some plans, and I've got some wee swatches to show you. This is a fun plan section because I'm going to make my Rhinebeck sweater, because I am 90% sure that I'm going to go and hop on a jet plane to New York Sheep and Wool this year. I have some final details to figure out because I have some family that lives in the States. So as long as I can pop over to see them at the same time, I'm pretty sure I'm going to come over for New York Sheep and Wool, and so I'll need to knit something for that. I would love to get to Wool and Folk, but I'm staying in New York City and I can't figure out how to get there because I don't drive. I'm so sorry to be like a European who's like, don't you have public transport everywhere? But no, they don't. It's a strange country that they just don't have like good public transport. But anyway, so yeah, so if anyone is staying in NYC and going out to Wool and Folk, please let me know. But otherwise, I can definitely get to Rhinebeck with a train, and then I'm pretty sure I can walk there. I mean, again, I'm in Europe, like I walk everywhere. Like I'm like, oh, 5K isn't a big walk to me. So I don't know. Anyway, pretty sure I'm going to go to Rhinebeck, so I need to wear something for that. And so I have swatched for Andrea Mowry's Tesselated vest and pullover. Most likely I'll do the vest for Rhinebeck, and then I swatched two very different combinations, and so one I think I'll do vest, and the other I'll do pullover. So this is my swatch. So this most likely I will do for the vest. Where's my yarn? Here it is. So the three yarns I'm using, the main color is some John Arbon Yarnadelic, and this is in Nobody Knows is the colorway. This is my second time using, will be my second time using John Arbon. I don't know why it's taken me so long to try their yarns. They're absolutely wonderful. Then the Spincycle is the color Havana. And this is from their like travel series that they did recently. So it's like almost like a tonal Spincycle. So there is color change there, but it is not as dramatic as their other yarns. So I mean, it's like comparing this to this is like very different. And then my fluff, I've gone with the Qing Fibre and Melted Baby Suri, which I've used before, and this is in the colorway Bone. And so I thought they were like just a super cool combo and have made for a really fun, almost looks like a rose garden to me. But it's really like, you know, I like that it's feminine. I like that it's different. It's not my usual. And I'm really, really excited about that. So that's definitely, I'm definitely making that combination in the vest, hopefully for Rhinebeck. And then I did a second swatch, same yarn. So I just did, this is the John Arbon Yarnadelic in the color Ordinary Joe. So this is their, this is like the undyed of this yarn. Then the label is coming off this, but this is the Qing Fibre Fluff. This is in the color Superhero, again, Melted Baby Suri. And then the Spincycle, I love this. This is Nicoya. And it's like a navy deep tonal. And they have swatched up like this. So really cool. I really, really like this. I think this will, like this, when it's like full, is going to be amazing. Like you can, I think when you hold it like this, it's a bit weird, but when it's actually in a full garment, I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. And this one, I think I might do the pullover. So I might do the like pullover version. The one thing about the pullover though is that it's drop shoulder, and I don't love drop shoulder on a full length pullover. So part of me thinks, I don't know, it depends, like, cause it's an all over pattern, like a mosaic pattern. So the dream would be to do the vest and then do the sleeves separately, either pick up and knit them down or do them bottom up and graft them on. So we'll see if I do some magic with that or I just do the pullover. We'll see. I'm not in a rush to do this one. I'm excited about it. I love how it looks, but it's not my priority. This one is the priority, and this is the one I'm going to do hopefully for Rhinebeck. And where to Rhinebeck? We'll see. It would be great to get this done and to wear it and to you know, hopefully meet Andrea Mowry on the hill. I think I've done enough of her patterns to warrant having a wee chat. But yeah, so those are my two swatches for the Tesselated vest and pullover, which I'm very excited about. Haven't blocked these yet, but I like them. I'm super excited about them. And once the AIRTEE is finished, that's the next thing that's going to be casted on. Garment wise, it's a vest. The stitch pattern is really good, but it's not like super difficult. I think I can bash it out in like a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. So I should have it done in plenty of time for Rhinebeck, which is 22nd of October. So yeah, I'll have another episode before then, and by the next episode I will definitely have like confirmed if I'm going. So if you're going, do let me know, because I would love to meet you there, knitting friends. And yes, so that's hopefully going to be my Rhinebeck sweater. And then finally, I've got some yarn to share for another pattern. It's been a minute since I did a Max pattern, and so the next one I want to cast on of his is the Bumpy cardigan. I think it's just called Bumpy. And so I got some yarn for that, and one of them I had in my stash already, waiting for the perfect project, and that was this Spincycle Nocturne, which is the darker cousin of Dyed in the Wool, and this is in the color Day Tripper, which I absolutely love. And then I got some yarn, so this is the yarn used in the pattern. Yes, it is the yarn used in the pattern, which is the British DK from Le Garçon, and I got the color. This is the color Abador's Waters, and so these are the two. So you can see it's kind of like a low contrast. Like you definitely in the Spincycle, I can see like an exact match to the main color, and I really like that. I like that it will kind of like fade in to the main color as the color change happens. So I'm super, super excited about this. I'm in a very like cardigan like mode, even though I have never made one. So I'm in oh my God, it's Suri. So yeah, I'm in a very cardigan mode right now, and I'm excited to like make a few of them before the year's out, and that's definitely one of them. The other one, I want to pick up some yarn in Lisbon when I'm there next month. And so we'll see about that. But yeah, cardigans definitely are having a moment for me. Cardigans and vests. I feel like I've done more cardigans and vests this year than I have actual jumpers, full-length jumpers. I don't know. But anyway, that's everything. A little bit of a shorter one this time. But I've been really like hyper-focused. I think when I have like a trip coming up, it really motivates me to actually go and get things done so that I can like bring them on the trip and like have something fun to wear. I'm doing lots of sewing projects as well, and so I might document them a little bit. Either it might be like a video or it might be a reel on Instagram, we'll see. With sewing, I find it very difficult to film like the process of sewing while actually doing the sewing. I don't think I'm like good enough at it yet that I can really just do the two things at once. I actually have to focus more on the sewing project than the filming of it. So we'll see. But yeah, lots coming up for trips, which is great, and lots of like exciting plans or projects. I'm really, really happy with my knitting at the moment. I'm really excited for the projects that are coming up, and I'm very excited to release a pattern very, very soon. I'm going to be working on it anyway. I think we'll hit the goal, which would be great. And but either way, I'm going to start writing up the pattern, getting that PDF ready to go, and final sample ready to go, taking photos. Oh my God. So it's super exciting, guys. So thank you so much for watching. I wouldn't be here doing this if it wasn't for you guys and if I wasn't keeping you guys company. So yes, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you're working on at the moment. Are you going to Rhinebeck or any Fibre festivals this autumn? Like, let me know. And yeah, if you have any advice for blocking silk, I also want to know about that. So yeah, take care of yourselves. I hope you're enjoying your making, and I hope you're well. Sending you lots of love from London. Take care, bye.